fourth game of the EU qualifiers, where we will actually have a back and forth, action-packed game that'll go longer than 25 to 30 minutes. We'll find out soon. To answer that question, we will have myself, Maut, along with Purge, Lyrical, and Cinderin give you the answer. How you doing, boys?
Yes.
Good. I smell peanut butter.
There was some Uncrustable action going on.
There was.
They're good.
They're quite good.
Thanks for that, Purge. That's the best.
It's okay.
That was the best coaching from Purge. The food coaching.
Eat this.
Eat this.
I've
I'm
trusted
not
Purge's
sure.
suggestions.
Is that good? It's
I
like,
knew it was, I
this
tried
is
to
good.
tried to get him to eat it the other day, and it wasn't going to work because it's something a little different.
Yeah.
But all the regular food was gone, so I knew I was like, this is the moment. I can definitely force him to eat this now.
This is where I trust Purge the most. Obviously, you have a lot of good Dota coaching, but in terms of your life hacks, you actually have given me a lot of advice over the years.
Oh, well, I'm just remembering. You know what's something I remember regularly and regret? It's like when we went to Slax's bachelor party and we were on food duty. We're like, all right, we're going to buy like land party food. We spent $80 on just sugar. It was a bad idea. Like
Do you know we
everything
still
bought,
have-
it was like cookies, cupcakes, candy, soft drinks. We didn't buy anything that would be like, hey, we can eat this for breakfast the next morning.
We
And
still
my
have some of those
stomach just
things.
kind of like hurt slightly unpleasantly for like 2 days.
Yeah.
We messed up there. We needed to buy something like, hey, let's buy some eggs and bacon, and then make food for people. No, it was just sugar.
We ate a ton of cookies, and then we proceeded to not eat anything else after that.
You forgot the 5 cans of soda.
Yeah, that was.
I drink a lot
Sounds
of.
That was
insanity.
quite the bachelor party, let me tell you. But that's a story
still
for
fun.
another time. So,
Oh, tell it now.
I mean, I think everybody's heard
we
the
don't need
story.
to,
We don't
yeah.
need to tell the story. If you want to hear the story,
It's
I'm
always
sure
embellished
there's
anyways.
there's YouTube videos about it. You could Google it.
The one thing I will say though is when they always talk about the girl that came to
The
play video
stripper.
games with us. Yeah, it's always the story's always embellished.
I love that.
Like the story is embellished with when we played games. It's always embellished because there isn't a punchline, so they have to embellish it to make.
Wait.
the punchline better.
Are you upset
Every
about
time.
how they talk about you got beat when you were playing Donkey Kong?
I did
Diddy
lose,
Kong Racing
but
with
it's
it?
always extremely embellished. They
Okay.
always have to add something on the end that didn't happen. Like
Okay.
almost every time I've heard the story told, I'm like, that's actually not accurate. It's always a little embellished because it's a good story, but it's not good enough to like be like, I'm gonna bring this up.
That's how every one of our
And
stories are.
speaking
though.
of which, I just wanted to vent about it.
Okay.
It wasn't a good idea for me to bring this up. But
No,
Tell
no,
me
no.
about
I'm glad you
Fortune's
went
End.
through it.
it's a dispel.
I'm excited. I'm actually excited already
Me
about
too.
this game now. I love Oracle, and I think the hero definitely has a place in some games. The only true weakness that there's two problems with it. One, it's not the strongest laner compared to a lot of these other heroes like Warlock, and two, the hero isn't very. It's better for skirmishes than Warlock is because it actually has some burst and a bit of a lockdown to provide, but generally is a 5-man hero. But it has some benefits here. It can purge off Shadow Word both offensively and defensively.
I would argue it's selectively amazing at lane, equal as good as Warlock in games like this. Obviously, because he's counteracting Warlock, therefore he is Warlock. But great BAT. You grab an Orb of Venom, your attack range is good, so you just slap BATs on people or orbs on people. And then if you're dispelling Warlock heals, he's extremely good, and then he transitions really well in the late game with his ultimate, and Fate's Edict is really good too. So against like Sand King and Warlock, this is really solid as a pick.
So the one thing that sticks out to me too, and you mentioned it, is that the dispelling the heal, because I feel like Warlock has often been the answer of like the way that you want to take a greedy position one hero. So we've seen like the Spectres or the Morphlings or something else thrown in there with it. I wouldn't mind seeing like Beastmaster Oracle laning together. I don't know if it's going to happen,
I
but
think it
like
is.
if it's going to be a greedy lineup coming out from BlinkPool, run it up there and just run at them.
I like it. Most Beastmaster hasn't been doing very well lately as like a pressure hero because he does okay, but everybody's very used to him, and he's not quite as strong as he was before. But throwing an Oracle there to offset the heals and then also add more damage, like that's the other thing people forget about. Oracle's actually a very good burst hero once he gets to like level 2, level 3. So if you throw more burst and a little bit of disable on top of Beastmaster, they're definitely going to be able to kill heroes.
This lane kills on level 3. It is really strong on level 3. On level 1, it's like, not so good. Level 2, it gets like decent. On level 3, it is super strong.
Yep.
So, what I'm imagining, they're thinking with this Oracle, they're picking it as just a solution to Warlock in lane, and they're going to put Oracle with whatever matchup they prefer against Warlock. It doesn't have to be Beastmaster. Beastmaster could be safe lane. If they see a good core matchup, let's say, for example, let's say BlinkPool were to go for something like Spectre, you could get a side lane Bloodseeker, for example, and play Bloodseeker Oracle, and Bloodseeker will just completely destroy that lane. Like, it's not even funny how much he will destroy Spectre Warlock. They can't do anything to him. That's just an example of something they could do. Actually, interesting bans here. BlinkPool banning out the Monkey King and Invoker.
Yeah.
That's a very unusual second phase from them. The bans apart from that's been pretty straightforward.
The
Oh,
top
Bloodseeker's banned. My bad.
Okay, there you go.
I didn't even see that.
Thompson Invoker's was good earlier today.
Quaswex was impressive. I did
Yeah.
not expect it to be that significant, but it did a lot of work in that game.
I think the Monkey King one's a little bit surprising, but maybe like a scrim thing.
It's one of Thompson's favorites too, right? Like they seem to just be target banning him a bit here.
And on OG side, the PL and the Lycan would have been amazing versus Oracle, but either way, still strong heroes in the meta right now.
Oh yeah, Lycan is an awful match. I'm actually really surprised Lycan got through the first phase. We've almost always seen it banned or picked in the first phase, at least in the games I've been watching. It might have had lower priority in the Chinese region, for example, but I didn't really get to see those games. Lycan seems like a really strong hero right now. But
And Night Stalker 2, which is often banned first phase, although I'm not sure if it's banned as much anymore in the first phase, but it's still available as well if they wanted to go down that road.
I think Night Stalker has been overrated
Yeah.
in some of the series,
Yeah.
and it's just the hero is starting to have quite a few weaknesses now that once you understand how to take advantage of them, it just isn't that scary anymore. He got way weaker at the first and second night just because of the crippling fear nerfs, the void nerfs, darkness nerf. What nerf didn't he have? Hunter in the Night didn't get nerfed.
There you go.
Yay.
Nice.
So looking at this OG draft now, I feel like one of the big problems you run into with Oracle is lack of disable. The only disable that they have right now is really hard with the Roar, but it is an ultimate on a relatively long cooldown, whereas on the other side, I guess that you still have a bunch of really long cooldowns. But I'd love to see them be able to take advantage of it when like Warlock Golem is down or when Split is down.
Yes.
And Sand King's kind of already taken away. Maybe Slardar? I don't know. Witch Doctor's decent.
Interesting.
I was going to say in regards to the Oracle also, is there any chance they do like an Oracle Huskar kind of draft here for OG?
Absolutely
I know Oracle's
possible.
Huskar's been picked a lot in the SA region, especially today.
And it's definitely possible. It doesn't have to happen, and that's one of the nice things about grabbing Oracle here. It's like it's good against the two heroes they're against. It scales well, and it's also just gonna make that worry for their opponents the whole time.
Nice.
Oh, I don't know if I like where BlinkPool is headed with this. So one thing I really like about the Brewmaster pick is the problem is that he's playing with Warlocks that have long cooldowns, but if you look past that, Brewmaster is exceptionally good against saving heroes. That is one of the biggest benefits of the hero. You enter team fights, you have a guy like Oracle who's super dependent on saving his guy, you just Cyclone him. You take Oracle out of the fight with 2 Cyclones in a row. I find this to be one of the absolute hardest matchups to play Oracle into for that specific reason. Laning, it's fine. Like Brewmaster, you can deal with him as Oracle, but the team fights are really annoying.
Oh, and even if he doesn't Cyclone, the Dispel's actually God
Dispel
tier.
is good too.
Because
Yeah.
that's going to remove Fate's Edict, that's going to remove any Purifying Heal that he has going, it's going to be able to dispel Urns. Like, that alone is incredible.
It's a really nice hero to play against Oracle. The thing I didn't like so much where BlinkPool was headed with this is that they chose to go for Slark with it. I feel like, you have this really strong team fight. I would have loved to see them pick a carry that is faster at just coming online and starting to take towers so that the moment they hit their 6s, they can go for, objectives. They could have got something like, your classic gyrocopter, maybe even could have gone a Juggernaut route this game, like any type of hero that would want to go for towers. Jugger isn't that hot right now, but, you get the idea of the type.
I mean, so it doesn't match up with their team well, but it does match up against OG's heroes well. It's pretty good against Slark, or against Beastmaster, if you can Dark Pack the Roar. It's very good against Oracle, very good against Witch Doctor.
Yes.
So I was wondering if
But
that
it's a weak
Yahoo,
laner. And
Yeah,
that's
with low armor.
an issue.
What were you saying?
I'm wondering if the Yahoo we're hearing is from Ana. It's his classic hero. This
It
is what
sure
he's known
is.
for. I knew it. That's the one. He wants to
Yeah.
play it.
He loves this hero.
I'm curious if they're going to switch it up and run it towards the mid for him, or if they just are willing to swap their lanes around and run it safe lane. And the other weird thing about this is taking the Witch Doctor now, it does kind of put one of these heroes on the 4 position getting more farm. And I'm not really sure who I like that more on.
I assume it'll be Jerks. He played like Skywrath earlier and did fine. It's like like those both Witch Doctor and Oracle can scale a little bit. I think it's more likely to be Oracle because he can move around more effectively and get kills just by having raw damage. So I think it's all right. I see your point though.
What do you get though as a 4? Do you just get Aether Lens as like a 4 Oracle? I mean-
Aether Lens is good. He could go defensive items. He could go fast Spirit Vessel. Like
Oh,
ulti
yeah.
Spirit Vessel is like amazing.
That would be
You're like,
ridiculous.
okay, he's all right, guys. We can let's focus on other problems.
Because you get like double the healing increase then with the ulti and then also
And it's
Spirit Vessel.
based on their health and
Right.
like I mean, okay, they can dispel it, but yeah, it's really good.
Yep.
I'm feeling Oracle right now.
Okay.
So
in the right games.
is this going to be Huskar? Nope, Zeus. Wow. Okay.
Oh.
They definitely needed some more damage. They're very burst heavy. So pre-BKB's OG has a strong lineup. They're pretty magic focused though.
Yes.
You sound so dissatisfied.
Yeah, you really did.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I really liked OG's opening, but I don't really like too much where they ended up going with it. But I'm always ready to be surprised. I think neither of these heroes is particularly good as a position 4, but I'm guessing the Oracle is probably the better choice. Zeus is a fairly nice hero against Slark, though. He can hit the lightning bolt during Shadow Dance, but
The Zeus counter.
okay, interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if OG end up putting Ember mid and Zeus safe lane. Actually, I think it can work this game
Okay.
because the BlinkPool's lanes are relatively weak. They're side lanes. There's nothing that is very, very strong. You put the Oracle in the lane against the Warlock, and then Zeus can, since the damage changes, can actually be relatively competitive on CS in the safe lane even. So
And he contributes well just because the level 1 lightning bolt does like 120 damage, so it's like he's still helping his supports.
you don't want Zeus against TA. It is real bad.
Yep.
That is actually one of the worst matchups
It's
that
probably better now.
we will
So-
likely see all tournament if we get to see it.
Does-
It's worse than Ember versus Lina. That we
Does
just
static
saw.
field
Wow.
proc?
Okay.
It's very bad.
Static field procs reflection though, at least, right? So hypothetically, if you cast a spell, you're breaking refraction twice.
I believe it breaks refraction, yeah, but it for the lane it doesn't matter.
That seems minimal,
It's not-
yeah.
You
but
probably have to go to like 2 points in Arc Lightning now too to be able to out CS the TA, don't you? Because they got the damage reduction.
I think out CS is the wrong word. to
Okay,
try
that's a
to
good call.
CS.
Try to CS.
Yeah.
yeah, good
You're
luck.
not out CSing. There is no Zeus in the world that's going to win against the TA if both players are just, somewhat similar in skill. Like
Yeah.
that lane is just flat out completely impossible. Another thing that we've seen since the changes to traps is that sure Zeus can try to remove them with lightning bolt, but TA kills him as well now. Like now that traps deal damage, if you get caught by a trap, you can actually just die from 100 to 0.
And across the game, it's still a really good TA game. He's against an Oracle who can't stop the damage. The only thing he can do is Fate's Edict the TA. So it's against Witch Doctor, another burstable, physically weak hero, and even Ember Spirit. So the TA pick was very smart here.
By the way, real quick, I do want to point out that on the other stream, BlinkPool did play Singularity. They did lose that matchup. I haven't seen what the draft was yet, but just going and giving you that heads up that
Singularity one?
It was a
Yes.
it was a pretty
Oh,
it was a
wow.
brood game, 30-minute game. Singularity took
A
the
brood
win.
game, did you
Yep,
say?
last pick brood,
that's a classic.
Oh.
and they had
Ooh.
brood,
Yeah.
Ember, Beast, Rubik, Warlock.
So the thing in this game, I'm gonna favor OG, but it's like the reason I like them more is I saw them play a draft similar to this in the opens, and they looked so comfortable, like really, really good at playing this Zeus, very good with these two position 5s kind of, but you just they make them work. I think Seb is on his absolutely best hero. His Beastmaster is very, very good, so they're feeling comfortable for sure, and I think they're just the better team. So. But neither draft to me is like really fully satisfying. So because of that, if BlinkPool had got a little bit better out of this draft, I could have seen them as favorites for this. But I'm still feeling it.
Let me ask you the question, though. Do you think this... I mean, what are the chances this goes into another 20-minute stomp type game, or is this going to be a different type of game based on the picks?
The Dire lineup can snowball very hard if they win the lanes. Zeus and Ember are the type of heroes that can just take over a game from minute 10 onward. So it's very important that BlinkPool do their lanes well. If the lanes play out evenly and BlinkPool are competitive, I can see this one definitely being a close game.
3 bounties for Radiant.
Yep.
Good start.
And they get the Shadow Word on Ember Spirit, plus Kazu might get an auto attack or two off, although Anna's pretty fast. So it is going to be safe lane Ember Spirit, by the way. They're not going to send him mid. That means that Thompson Zeus is going to be mid against the Kaiser TA, which will be, like you guys mentioned, a pretty brutal matchup. They even send out a Sal for Kaiser. He's doing a really good block.
I kind of feel like Oracle should switch lanes, right? Really. I mean, he's going to do fine in this lane, but I find it a little unfortunate that he's not versus the Warlock myself.
The problem is if he TP's top, they're just going to match.
Yeah.
I think if
Yeah,
he
those
TP's top, they
TPs,
will match,
okay.
and they will be happy with the end outcome of it. So he probably has to stay bottom at this point. No-Tail's going to skill heal, and they're just going to be trading up here and getting CS.
I think I saw them take out the ward mid also, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he got him down from his high ground, so TA already starting off with a little bit more of an advantage there too.
Yeah, that's good news. Kaiser's Refraction is done. Thompson obviously going for level 1 Arc Lightning, so he'll do okay for now, but once these side blades come out, this starts getting a bit tougher. So
Yeah, he's actually forcing out a flask with just right clicks.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
that was
impressive.
Interesting. I think TA is trying to play very aggressive on him. He must have drawn creep aggro and lost his refraction and then tanked some creep hits, or Zeus should not be able to do this.
Yeah. I want to keep checking all these lanes, but the glyph comes out. Good news for OG. Beastmaster having a great time. In fact, they found Misery. He does have no Burrow Strike. He used it already. They're not going to get this kill.
That's the orb Purge was talking about. It's very strong.
It's got a long range, 620 attack range on the Oracle.
Yeah, it's
I
really
didn't realize
nice.
it was above 600, but very good.
His base damage is, you know, it's not the greatest, but still does some work.
When these two heroes bottom reach level 3, I think Slark gets crushed, actually. It's really important for Madara to get off to a good start on this hero, and Misery is trying to give him a lot of solo XP, but what that means is you have this, like,
They're trying to solo
almost
kill
like a
Sand King.
dummy hero, you know? The Sand King has a stun, and then what does he do after that?
Yeah, he's not going to be able to do anything. And if they manage to find the root, does get Dark Pact off. This is going to be a lot of damage on him constantly, because not
Yes.
only does he have really good range, but also a really good attack animation on Oracle.
Yep.
And can get out a ton of those Orb of Venom hits.
And if Slark needs to use Dark Pact every time you cast a root on him, he takes extra damage. He's damaging himself, obviously.
Going aggressive. They'll have another Purifying Flames and a second here. It's not enough damage, and it was level 1, of course. Not level 3 yet for Jerax, but
Kind of costly there. That's a couple Purifying Flames now that he's used on Slark without dispelling it.
Yeah. He also
So-
popped a Mango for one of those.
Like, Slark's only lost 3 tangos so far, between all of the magic sticks and the heals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I disagree with them trying to go for the kill until they're level 3, because I think the burst will not be enough, and like, if you waste away all your mana now, you don't have it when your lane truly peaks. So I would have liked to see them just try to focus a bit more on denying and harassing with the Orb of Venom, and then you can throw out a Fortune's End here or there and some Axes just to force the Slark to use Dark Pact and take that extra bit of damage, but not truly start committing Purifying Flames. That's when it starts being very expensive for Oracle to harass, is when he starts using those nukes. I believe they cost more than Fortune's End even on level 1 since the buff. It's like 75 to 85 or something?
Yep.
Or 80, yeah.
Well, so far, CS-wise, still relatively even across the lane. Surprisingly, Zeus only 6 behind the TA. That might change as the levels start to get increased a little bit. Although, feels like he's kind of through some of the dark times already.
oh, he went level 2 Lightning Bolt. He didn't grab the Static Field at all, by the way, for Zeus. Not yet, anyway. He will later,
Probably
obviously.
not worth it, because it would maybe let him break refraction easier, but it's going to limit his harass and last hitting.
Yep.
So,
So now they brought Warlock to bottom. I'm guessing the call here is that Slark will start to struggle with laning against these level 3 heroes. And they might just keep 3 here. The problem is I think the Ember can lane against the Brew alone. And if Witch Doctor comes bottom, this try and try situation does not favor the Radiant in my book. Kezu, not going to get bounced on with the cast,
Searing
but he will get
Chains.
chained down.
He has a salve, and
shoot.
he's also very speedy.
That's
with the
level 1
boost.
Maledict, he won't die.
Yep.
He skilled heal level 1 on Witch Doctor and he's level 3. So.
Yep.
Without Maledict, I don't know if they can contest for this bounty rune either. Ember's going to want to stay there in CS, so Brew just might get both of them potentially.
They can try to contest bottom, but there's 3 heroes down here. They have Sand King with Burrow Strike. They
Since
might
they-
only get 1.
Since they know there's 3 bottom, I think the Witch Doctor just goes for the rune against
Okay.
Drew and then just casts him and takes the rune and gets out.
Yeah.
He should not die.
They might lose both down here, though. Although Misery is actually the one that's getting
He's
rest on.
probably dead.
Fortune's End, Axes, Purifying Flames. They just need another one. He actually has a good stick, but I think he's still dead anyway with another Purifying Flame. And he is. It's Mad that gets first blood, the assist from Jerax, and they'll get both of these runes bottom, it looks like.
Oh, they'll get all 4.
Yeah, they're going to get 4.
Oh.
But that turned around rather quickly.
Uh-oh.
My God.
That
Oh,
is
and
so big.
Zeus is going to get it for
Yeah,
the bottle
he
as
bottled
well.
too. Yeah, that's huge.
Okay, that is really bad. Zeus is doing surprisingly well here. We haven't really watched the matchup too much, but I'm fairly confident that it should not be going this well. And I'm
Right
saying
now.
that as he's 10 CS
He's
behind, but
getting run at too.
Nice.
Might be dead.
definitely did.
Tops in, just getting auto attacked down by Kaiser. Will find himself a free kill.
That's level 6.
That was a pretty big mistake, yeah. Tia hit 6 first. He walks up to hit the creep wave. I think maybe he was hoping Tia went bot rune or something, but he walked right into that one.
Yep.
Didn't have a TP in his inventory either. It was in his backpack, so it was a pretty big mistake. Maybe he thought he had the TP.
now it looks like expected. 1,000 net worth lead minute 6 for TA.
But otherwise, OG are still doing well in the side lanes at this point. Madar is still struggling as expected.
He's
even
out
with
of
3 heroes.
regen.
He has to just run. He has to wait till level 6, and he's not going to be there anytime soon with 2 or 3
He
heroes.
might be in a
then.
little bit of trouble. There's the heal. All right, they get it after the purge. He's
Like,
fine.
And they've rotated another hero down bottom. It's a smoke up from No Tail with the Witch Doctor, so if he shows himself, he might die. Well, he's back to full HP pretty much.
He's got to get in the right
They're
position.
baiting him in.
Yeah, this is a big
nice
bait.
play.
Cast coming out, no Dark Pact available. It's going to bounce, but it won't bounce back to Madara, and they don't have the... Jarex had to go back, so they only had 2 down bottom while they were
The
trying to
idea
do
was a
play.
nice play. The execution did not work out too well.
Yeah.
But his timing on being here was really good. But they didn't manage to make it work. I'm really excited to see Ana in this game. I think his Ember Spirit is one of the best, and he's off to a pretty good start. So should be a treat. Close to level 6, I would imagine it's possible we see a rotation from Ana at that point to bottom, just tower diving and killing the Slark and getting the tower. He's one of the heroes that can also deal with the TA, so that's kind of nice for them that even though their mid matchup is going horribly, they at least have a safe laner that can be competitive against TA relatively soon.
We could maybe see OG like try and pressure the Slark bottom, see if they could force the TP, and then like go mid with the Ember instead, like you're talking about.
Yeah, that could be
That's
good.
another way to do it too.
Yeah, Ana's far ahead. So this is what generally happens in these safe lane situations. Ember is a full level ahead of Brewmaster now. He can actually try to solo kill him if he wants. He gets these changed, he might go for it.
There's a creep wave here.
blind.
He's just going to harass. He has a Sal for Ana, and Kazu has none, so I'll have to be a little careful. Flame Guard's still going for now. They are rotating the Sand King up top to try to help out the Brewmaster a little bit, but again, this gives little to no room for Madara bottom, who is going to start falling behind a lot more, I think.
Damn, it doesn't feel good playing Sand King like this, I gotta say. We're 8 minutes in, he doesn't have boots, he's position 4. That is a rough start, man. Like, this hero is so item dependent as a 4, and he just has nothing to show for his early game.
Hiding.
What?
They found him.
He actually cut the tree down.
That's Sand King helping out, dude. Just forcing his opponent to waste 4 seconds.
Slugs did.
Madara is in some trouble. He almost gets mad
Oh,
with the
close
kill.
to tree.
That would have been huge. He has Fatal Bonds on him, but he's going to just bottle up instead. So,
And you look at the net worth among the supports. It might not seem like much. It's like, it's just 150 gold for Witch Doctor over Warlock, but it's 700 for Oracle over Sand King. That
Yep.
I'm worried for the Radiant that this Sand King will need so much space to actually, get into the game. He's level 3, minute 8:30. He has absolutely nothing. He needs to take lanes,
Yeah.
but who can give him the space?
I don't even care about the gold. I care about the levels. He's like 3.5 right now, and Oracle's almost 5 with
Yeah.
Arcane Boots. So once he hits 5 with Arcanes, he's going to be nuking everybody all over the place.
Yeah, and these are heroes that don't have very high HP pools. They rely upon other stuff to get them alive, with the exception of Brewmaster. So you make a rotation and burn through the refraction charges. You make a rotation and force out a Slark ulti. They're just gonna blow up.
Yep.
It's a ridiculous amount of damage.
well,
So what do you do as the Radiant? The problem is with their lineup, now they have Brew Split, but where do you use it? You can maybe try to make a move onto TS lane. They're actually doing that right now. I think this is the only real play they have with the split that makes sense. This kill needs to work out for them. Nice trap down in the lower half here by Kaiser. Could do something. TP out from Jarex. Away from the Slark. And they're going to start hitting this tower. OG will definitely try to defend this. They do not give up this tower for free. But how do they do it?
fighting into split's going to be tricky. Maledict and No Tail is going to get trapped and run down. They're going to slap him a few times. Another trap will almost certainly kill him. They have the Burrow Strike, so No Tail gives his life away as they're just trying to farm elsewhere on the map.
He saved his tower, for now, at least, with that death. He
For a few seconds.
definitely bought some time. Now Matt is coming in, pulling the wave away. And I think without Primal Split, they're not getting this tower. But they did a pretty decent chunk of damage before OG were able to respond to this.
Yeah.
How many bounty runes this? Is this 3 this time for OG? No, 2 and 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Chase down.
Oh, he just found a free ward, I think, with that lightning bolt.
Yep.
They're pinging it out like crazy, so they know it's there. He's just waiting to go for it. And he's a little worried about who's behind Madara and Saksa.
This tends to happen when you play Zeus. You get like 1 or 2 freebies per game where you're just bolting someone and there's a ward there, fortunately. And
Oh
you
my
find
god. Free gold. 121.
Oh.
Oh my, look at that
do this,
Slark!
Madara.
He just took so much damage. They still have Zoot's ulti, but he gets off the Shadow Dance for Madara. So they have vision now. Another Lightning Bolt will do the job. It looks like the Shadow Word's not going to save him. They false promise up tops, and he's fine. Misery rotates in. He's looking for a Burrow, which actually does stop the TP of Tops. And the Cat's coming in. I think Topson will still survive anyway.
Yeah,
he gets a double kill
totally
anyway.
fine.
So they kind of rotate in and they just feed their lives away. Kezu has split. Maybe he can get a kill out of this. Thompson would be who he likes. No Tail's going to try to TP. It's going to be close. He will fall. They'll get 2. Good brew split. They at least get something out of it for BlinkPool there instead of just losing this Slark for nothing.
The chat line is great, man. I love that one.
Those are the best too, because you have to work for them, so you can't just be like, yeah, that's a cool line and spam it.
Yeah.
You actually got to play the hero.
That's a silver line.
It really was, though. Like, I don't know what Madara was doing there. He just thought he
Yeah.
could take him down.
That was kind of crazy. It's good that Kezu rotates in and at least gets a trade-off, but it still doesn't feel good using your brew split after you've lost a fight, right? Like, he's coming down to salvage, but they didn't gain anything except a bit of hero kill gold. No tower damage with the brew split that they would have surely liked to use mid. And the timing, the progression of timing in this game, like, Ember hasn't really got involved yet. He is getting really, really farmed. Compare him to the Slark, 1,300 gold advantage. The one hero in this game that's doing well for BlinkPool is TA, but we know how this hero can be. It's very snowbally by nature. You have to play from ahead. This is kind of the expected outcome. So if he dies once or twice, OG are in a great position.
Kezu
BlinkPool had
rotating
to-
from behind. They're fighting without brew split, but it doesn't seem that they're really concerned. They have the golem, and that's what they're going to drop instead. Now Ana in trouble. The roar comes out, though. Look how low Kezu gets, and he just gets melted by this Dire team. They'll clean up the golem. They'll back themselves up more than likely and take a fight maybe elsewhere. They have found Madara, and Thompson's actually going toe-to-toe with him. Thompson's kind of winning until Madara gets the Pounce and Dark Pact off. Madara trying to run. He's on a ward. They need another Lightning Bolt, but they don't have the range. They have Zeus ulti. It's not going to be enough. He'll stick up. Now he's back into Shadow Dance. He's going to regen up. So Zeus ulti not used for anything spectacular there, but
I don't know who called this mid play, but that was not good from BlinkPool. Going in without brew split, there was like no chance of getting the Zeus kill the way they tried for it. Or sorry, not the Zeus, the Ember kill.
Yep.
And they end up effectively wasting away the golem. And now, again, now their ultis are going to be disconnected, right? Because now split will be ready, but golem will be on
Yep.
cooldown. So they can't get that really big fight. They ended up losing their brewmaster for nothing and lose their tower. This mid tower really important. This early on, 13 minutes in, you grab that, you start taking over the Radiant side of the jungle, you limit Slark's space, and once again, this guy needs so much time on Sand King. So they're kind of playing 4-on-5 for the next few minutes while Misery catches up from a difficult laning
look
stage.
at this. He's got it in 2 seconds. Can he get it off in time? He's sure. Oh, no,
Nope.
the Lightning Bolt comes out. He's still solo. He had 1 HP, and Ana gets False Promise just in time. He'll Remnant away. They need to heal him up. Jirax is going to get cycloned up into the air. Another Remnant coming out from Ana. Here comes Madara trying to flank at the back lines. He'll find No Tail. That's not the
Yep.
target he wants. Now the Death Ward coming out, but it doesn't last long. Thompson in trouble. Roar comes in, but it's onto the TA. Can they get this kill? A Remnant. They do secure. That's a big pickup coming in for Kaiser. Getting dropped down. A double kill for him, but he still gets killed at the end of it. Now Ana trying to TP Jirax as well. He's going to disarm himself using the Fate's Edict.
Nice play.
The Burrow Strike comes in from Mystery, but here comes Matt. He's just running at them, essentially. The Fortune Sun comes out, the Sandstorm, but they have the detection for it, and the Purifying Flames cleans up Misery on the Sand King. So it was, I think, a 2-for-2 at the end of it. The Ember Spirit survives, but the TA does fall on BlinkPool, so the advantage is slightly OG favored.
Jirax is owning these fights. That was really incredible.
He's doing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Kept Ana alive. I thought Ana was going to die right away, but that's probably mostly Melt Strike, I guess, that got him low in the first place. Keeps him alive. Dodges the Burrow Strike damage. Is there in the perfect moment to get the TA kill.
Yeah, they got. I think Ana got 2 bottle charges off fully during the False Promise. It
Yeah.
heals so much, and there's 1 heal from Oracle. You get back to full. So again, another team fight taken by BlinkPool. This time they use Primal Split. So now Golem is ready, and they don't have Split. And Sand King joined the fight, died, so didn't progress toward his Blink Dagger much. I think this bottom tower is just a goner. And at the same time, they might even be able to hold top themselves.
It feels like Sand King is in the same realm as like Night Stalker, where he's like one of those heroes that you can pick early and be like, hey, what role is it going to be? But then if it does default to support, your lane just sucks.
I think Ana's Remnant usage in that fight was also pretty spectacular. He just keeps them out, and like there was one moment when he went forward, threw one in for where the Zeus was going to be, was able to isolate and keep 2 other heroes away, and then he went in for the kill. Like, he feels like he just knows the limits of this hero perfectly, and now they found themselves another pickoff. It's not just the gold that they're getting, but like we've been talking about, the gold you're denying from the Sand King.
Yeah.
That was a very dead hero.
He's not looking good on Sand King. Let's look at something else that looks better.
Beastmaster?
Oh, it looks great.
Look at him, he's got a Solar Crest, they're gonna go take Roche.
He's going Solar Crest Pipe. I like this itemization in this game. There's so much magic damage from the Radiant. TA surely has a lot of physical, but that's kind of it. Apart from that, it's largely magic damage. Slark, at the current point in time, is a magic damage hero. More than anything. And
Oh, and they're taking her stacks too.
yeah.
How do you feel about this Zeus perk at 10? He went for experience gain. I know that's the standard, but against a TA, Do you think it's worth it to go armor?
No, I think you want XP gain. The other talents are so good that you just want to get toward them as fast as possible.
Misery, keep bullying
Yeah, I
this
feel
guy.
like Misery's never going to get this Blink Dagger
Yeah.
at this rate. It's pretty brutal.
I'm worried that player 5 has left the game right now.
Ah, that's going to be so frustrating.
And you're seeing the impact that it has.
Gonna
That they've.
kill me.
Oh, hang on.
That's Warlock dead. They're going to split for this. He tried getting Golem off. Anna has no mana.
He has a
There's
remnant.
Oracle.
He should be able to get out anyway. They have the False Promise available too.
Yeah,
He's
they're
going to wait
saving
for
up.
it.
Okay, saved.
They don't even need to use it. They try to Dispel, but he's still running.
Stops the heal at least. They
Yeah.
could get him low.
He's fine, it looks
That's
like.
another split used for nothing.
And now Golem is up again, but no split, so they
Yeah.
continue this trend.
You're really seeing the impact it has on the game that this mid-tier 1 fell. Like the way that Dire are just funneling into the Radiant jungle, they kill Misery again there. He's basically dying in a place you're generally safe in minute 15 in the game, but the Radiant have to try to find some sort of map control somewhere.
Oh,
They know he's
know
here.
he's here.
They-
Oh my god.
He got off the Shadow Dance
Madara?
though. He gets body blocked. He actually might be dead. Roar's up at 8. He Shadow Amulets again. They have detection this time. They Maledict. He's just going to try to run. Death Ward comes out. Dark Pact in, and Madara's dead.
This is the saddest Slark in the world. And then the tip. Oh man.
Yeah.
Like, the other thing is I feel like the Slark is the type of hero that you want to be playing with the vision advantage, and it naturally gives you that. They've got TA traps, those other things, but because of this Beastmaster, the great warding that's been going on from OG, they've been able to really shut down everything that BlinkPool has tried to do.
Oh, please, not
No.
again. I can't see this again.
He missed the chains, actually.
He might be able to live.
No.
Probably not. Maybe?
Oh, actually,
Sox is here.
Anna's
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Does he want a Remnant? Oh, he doesn't need to. Sleight of Fist or chains.
Uh,
He has
no
Golem.
burrow,
Is he
no
going to drop
burrow?
it up?
Oh. The
Here
root.
comes Kezu as well. Remnant.
run.
He actually is going to live. Misery is going to stay. Saving Private Misery in that fight. They made sure that they kept him. I mean, look how close he is to his Blink Dagger too. That's pretty big.
That's a big
If
save.
he got a Maelstrom proc there, it was a kill, most likely. But he got 2 hits and didn't get one.
If you hit the first chains, that wouldn't even have been a chase.
But that's the thing, like, you bring like 3 heroes down there to the bottom lane, the exact opposite side of the map, and now they're going in and taking Roshan. Like, even if like Misery doesn't die there, you're still losing so much across the rest of the map.
This is still taking forever. I mean, they even have a Solar Crest. This is taking a while. They do not have a good Roshan team.
Slark
This
walks
is
in and
dangerous,
realizes
though.
they see him.
Golem is very, very good here.
Yeah, they could try for this fight. Splits up, and right now they were going to roar Sox, so they want to get this kill. Zeus ulti, but he's got the heal rolling. They get off the Bruise Split. There's the Golem now. They're going to look for Beastmaster. He's low. They get off the False Promise from Jerax again. They're going to heal him up. Meanwhile, Warlock gets dropped down. Anna is cleaning up the back lines. He's fine. Mad TP's home. Jerax with the quick fingers again.
Good save.
I mean, that you have a Bruce Split and a Warlock Golem dropped. That should be a great fight for you. The TA just couldn't get in, I think, even with the Blink Dagger. I don't think he was able to find anybody in that fight.
He may have been cancelled by the Zeus ulti. I'm not sure if he had Refraction pre-running.
Right.
He absolutely, if he didn't, that is a clear mistake. He absolutely has to have Refraction on at all times that a fight is about to break out, just so he can be sure to get in.
I think we're seeing the strength of having heroes that come online without too many items. I feel like this Ember has just been such a good pick for them. Like, he allows you to play so much more aggressively earlier than other heroes. Maybe not necessarily earlier, but because they've been able to punish the Sand King, it's earlier.
Well, he's
This-
going to clear the Aegis.
The bigger thing about getting this Aegis on Ember is that TA didn't get it. TA is a very Aegis-dependent hero. I've talked about this before, how when you play as TA, your hero is, how to say it, there's like it's extremely high damage, but it's also very fragile. If Refraction breaks, you die to almost anything, and you're playing this very rich hero that has to go Glass Cannon. It's not effective if you don't buy these items like Deso and Dagger. So the moment you blink in and fight, you need this second life to guarantee that you can basically be tanky by having a second life.
Interesting.
Oh
my God.
Damn, that was a really
Wait,
high
how
I don't
close
think
is
he
he?
doesn't have it yet.
Oh,
He's still 200 away.
They're just killing everywhere on the map. They have no stabilization.
Well, I thought he would have had it by the time they took that last Roshan Gate, or after that last Roshan Gate, but he's not quite there yet.
He's been not that far away the whole time, to be honest. It's
Yeah.
just They're killing him very
Oh,
often.
no.
That's a solo kill.
Jesus.
That's
Maut, you remember the question you asked at the start of this? Is this going to be another 20-minute stomp?
it looks
It's
good for the
21
first-
minutes.
It looked,
true.
21.
I mean, like
We're
at
at
15-minute
21.
mark, I was like, okay, maybe they, or like 10-minute mark, I was like, all right, this is going to be pretty close. But it's, I mean, it's a 7K lead. It's not insurmountable for BlinkPool, but they have to make some pretty big plays in the next few minutes.
I told you it was going to be the closest game so far. Is that wrong?
No, it's not wrong. I would agree with
Okay,
that.
nice. Because I didn't see the first
You didn't
two
see the
games,
first two,
but
I know, but you're right anyway.
This kind of looks like game 1 to me, to be honest. Very
Okay.
similar. Like, it looked like, oh, maybe they can do something, and then it just kind of got super
Spirals
out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah. OG's just playing really good right now.
So I think what we're seeing about this Radiant draft, the thing that I was criticizing in the beginning was that you pick these big teamfight ultimates, but you have a mid hero that wants to farm a lot, and you have a safe laner that wants to farm a lot. So we never really got to see the teamfight that they were looking for. You don't have these heroes that are online early and want to go and actually use Split and Golem to do something on the map. So they've been using these primal splits with Sand King, they've been using Golem with Sand King, but like, where's your actual damage? Like,
They've got
where's it
Blink.
coming from?
They could go in here, but against Aegis, it's now so much harder.
Solar Crest.
Got Epi, they got Golem, they got Bruce Split.
There's the clap from Kezu. No split yet. Hannah's going to continue the siege with Aegis. He still has it for
Here
quite
comes
some
Epi.
time. There they go. There's the blink tag reveal. The Golem dropped on the backlines and the Remnants away. Madara, he actually takes off the cast that was going through. He's looking for the backlines, can't find anything. The false promise came out for Matt. He's completely fine. They don't find anything with it so far. Bruce Split is still going for another 5 seconds or so, but that's not going to be enough. Anna jumping in on Misery. He looks to be dead again. The snare comes through. The heal will not heal him enough. And tier 3 is taken. They'll probably get more off this as well. There's nothing left in the tank for BlinkPool at this point. They didn't even get Aegis in that fight. They got no kills.
This is 2 lanes of wreck.
Yep.
They even got the root from the little troll creep to make sure he couldn't burrow strike away too.
Nice. Nice little details here from OG.
They look to be on form right now for OG, and they're going to continue on here looking for Kaiser. It's double Remnant plus Roar. Death
Wow.
Ward, not even needed. Drop down just
That's
for...
some hate.
Yeah.
I mean, the Zeus had a bit of a tough lane, but once the Ember gets online in mid-game, Refraction just doesn't matter. Not at all.
Yeah.
Game's just over.
I mean, they're, like you said, two lanes of racks, probably more. They're going to try to wrap with Madara on the back lines. I don't think he can actually do anything. Burrow onto 2 from Misery. They'll buy back on the Templar Assassin. They're looking for JRX. He's got his False Promise in 2, which means he'll probably use it on himself, which he will, and he'll stay alive for now. Kezu getting lower with the Sleight of Fist and Maelstrom procs. And the double Remnant, and Thompson finds himself a double kill with the Arc Lightning and Lightning Bolts that are coming out. Zoxa has to run away. Kaiser, he can only really look on as they continue to push forward. Buyback coming in from Kezu. He has no split for another 36 seconds. However, I think they will hold them for now. But that is just for a moment here for BlinkPool.
Well, they at least held their second lane of racks. They lost the tower, but like, you look at this, that was a big commitment to not lose, basically. They didn't gain anything. Okay, the start of the game, look at the bottom line of this, and look at the top line. There's how many green dots? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 740 red ones.
That's a lot of red ones.
What have they taken? They've taken 20 kills, 6, 7 towers? 7 towers,
Yep.
and a Roche, and all Radiant has to show for it is the bottom tier 1 and the top tier 1, right?
Both.
So 2 towers. Okay.
Well, I actually have no idea what's going on. I mean, 4 games like this in a row, it actually seems unbelievable to me. But
You know, I had some concerns when I first heard that Anna was coming back to OG. I was like, is he still got it? He's been out of the scene for like almost a year at this point, and
He's still got
he's
it.
just
He
so
definitely
he's
has it.
completely hasn't fallen off.
He was playing with some other teams, I seem to remember.
Yeah.
There was a
Yeah.
team he played. I don't remember if they did well or if they played all matches or what, but you don't just stop playing Dota, man. Come on.
It's if you've seen, if you watched, was it the True Side episode where OG was in as well? The one from the Kiev Major, I think.
Yeah.
versus Virtus Pro.
Yeah, I think it matters. It matters a lot when you get to see that behind the scenes of how Anna works in the team with someone like Mad. As when he was their coach, it looked like he has a really positive impact on Anna based on that episode.
Yeah.
So playing with him, playing with No-Tail, I think he's really comfortable. He's back with friends that he's played with before, knows how they work. Good golem drop here to at least save Madara, but they need a turnaround.
He has Epi. He's not using it. He might die before he can get it off. Death Ward will come through. Remnant in. Misery still getting chased down. Roar on the back lines. They have found Kaiser rather on the front lines. He's healed up. Actually survives with the refraction. Not for much longer, to be fair. He does blink away. Maybe I spoke too soon. He's going to get out in time. Still a good burrow strike from Misery, jumping back in. Getting low is going to be no tail. Doesn't really matter. The Remnant and all the auto attack damage is doing work. That'll do it. GG is called. Another 25-minute game, around 4 in a row. I think the longest game we've had so far today was 28.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Oh, well, I guess it wasn't the most...
Well, that
least
that
ones
game
I
was
get.
more over than this game
Okay.
was. Yeah, if that makes sense.
In that
It makes
game,
sense.
the Slark did not get online ever. The Sand King did not get online. And that's 2 whole heroes that didn't get to do anything this game.
That's
Nothing
2
significant.
fifths.
This Radiant lineup is way too greedy. I think that's the problem. TA wants to farm mid, Slark wants to farm safe lane, Sand King wants to farm Blink Dagger.
And so did Brewmaster. Brewmaster had to.
Right.
He did great, got his blink at a good timing, but
You spend 15 to 20 minutes waiting, and then when you're done waiting, the game is over.
so
Yes.
basically all he could do is farm, and he couldn't like grab anybody to fight with him. It wasn't gonna be Warlock that does like a dual roam. It's like he has to dual roam with like a Brewmaster or Slark without items.
Yeah.
So it's like Sand King just couldn't do anything.
It's just a super hard game for both Saksa and Kezu. Like, they have these big teamfight ultimates, they have no one to use them with. And what do your heroes do then? Like, it really is that simple. The Radiant team just doesn't have... They also got outplayed. Like, that's the
Right.
other thing, right? If they're playing against a weaker team that doesn't take advantage of the timings as well as OGR, maybe they can come online with a Shadow Blade on Slark, and they can get TA the 2 or 3 items she needs to fight, and then you go from there. But OG just played way too high a tempo for them. And at that point... You got to look to the draft. They definitely could have played better, but the pieces also didn't really fit together that well in that game.
I think the biggest thing to me too that take away from this is I've been seeing a lot of Warlock win over and over and over and over again. I think that this is OG showing a way to really punish that, because it's all those things they talk about where you punish the low cooldowns, you punish needing somebody else that need items that can make up for the other team fight deficiencies. It doesn't have like a Sand King. So really cool stuff. I like the drafting from OG, and I'm excited to keep on seeing them play.
Yeah, they look good for sure. And I think pick of the litter in terms of top of the group, top of the qualifiers for right now, I would say.
Yes.
Yes, that puts BlinkPool at 0-2 right now.
Yeah.
Considering that the first team they lost to is Singularity, I think the OG match, maybe not a big upset, but they're losing the Singularity match and looking kind of rough in this game. Maybe not looking so great for BlinkPool.
I would say in this patch, as a final note on that game, I think Sand King is really difficult to run as a 4 nowadays.
Yep.
The bounty rune nerf, you get less gold as the position 4. Sand King was one of the heroes that really needed that gold for himself, so he doesn't have to spend so much time in lane. It's a very lane domination patch. Sand King is not a strong support in lane. This hero is a position 3, and I think you have to run it that way. And not even think of it as a flex pick anymore. I think you're trapping yourself with
that's the
that
problem.
mindset. It doesn't work.
The flex thing is an issue. It's either he has to be a 3 or he has to be with an offlane that works really well as a combo. Like
It's
something like an
a
Omni or
Lesh.
something.
Lesh is
Like
the other
something
one.
that's
Lesh.
going to make him better. You can't just run him wherever you want to.
Yeah, he's more of a limiting factor on the draft. You actually have to build around Sand King to an extent. I feel the same way about Night Stalker. I think it's the same problem. You play Night Stalker as a position 4. What does he really offer in the early laning stage? Not very much. And then he has to play catch up during nighttime. And then why did you pick Night Stalker if that's how you end up playing it as a 4, right?
Yep.
So you gotta look toward maybe what OG are doing. I'm not saying this is the perfect solution, but they have 2 supports in this game that are technically 5s, but they just do stuff early and they're online and they want to make moves and they contribute things in fights.
And all of their cores also do that constantly. Both
Yes.
Zeus and Ember, as soon as they hit
Absolutely.
6, they're both super online.
Yep.
And I'm sorry, who's the mid player for OG? What's his name again?
Thompson.
Thompson was able to make sure his lane didn't become an absolute train wreck. He did a good job, good rotations, and then just made his hero work.
He definitely lost, and it didn't look like it mattered.
Yeah.
He lost his lane. He has to lose that lane. If he doesn't lose that lane, he's not playing against a good player. Like, that's just how it is. So Kaiser didn't look stupid by losing TA to Zeus. That would have been real
I mean,
bad.
he even got a solo kill when Thompson made a mistake going up to the to that rune area, going up high
absolutely.
ground. So,
Yep.
I mean, they did it. They did everything they needed to do in that mid lane. It just comes down to the draft and running the sinking as the way you guys talked about. But I think that'll do it for this game. A 4th game in a row that was a rather quick one. We will have a bit of a break. Next game we'll either have, I believe, OG versus Singularity or the Final Tribe versus Wind and Rain. We'll see which one that's going to be in just a moment. I might be taking a break for one game. I'll probably be back later. But thanks for sticking around. We'll see you guys in just a second.